Welcome to This Explainer. Alright, we are jumping right in today because guys, the stage is set for an absolutely spectacular and dramatic opening to the 2026 World Cup. We are looking at a massive, highly anticipated clash on June 11th at the literal legend that is Estadio Azteca. It's the host nation Mexico facing off against South Africa. And you know, if that matchup gives you a little sense of deja vu, well, there's a good reason for it. It carries some seriously heavy football history. Take a look at this number right here, 144.2. Does that ring a bell for anyone? Well, that was the literal ear-splitting peak decibel level recorded back during the 2010 World Cup. Yep, we're talking about the peak roar of the absolute menace that was the Vuvuzela. Broadcasters, and even drew complaints from legends like Spain's Xabi Alonso. But hey, beyond all that noise, that's expectations and a squad carrying the incredibly heavy burden of home field advantage. And then, on side B, there's South Africa. Their prep has been defined by absolutely maddening administrative delays off the pitch, but perfectly combined with this pure, joyful chaos on it. So let's break down exactly what's going down in both of these camps. Section 2, Mexico's high-stakes pressure. You know, being a host nation is such a double-edged sword. Sure, it's literally every player's dream to play in front of their home crowd, but man, it is a pressure cooker. And honestly, nobody is feeling that heat quite like Mexico's star striker, Santiago Giménez. Just look at the crucial numbers staring back at us here. 0. After absolutely lighting up the Dutch league with Feyenoord, Giménez earned this massive, highly anticipated move to AC Milan in Italy. But as we know, soccer is all about streaks. Following a surgery, his season in Serie A was, well, it was brutal. He's arriving at this World Cup with exactly 0 league goals this season. For a striker leading the line for the host nation, that is a remarkably heavy psychological weight to carry. But you have to respect how he's handling it. Giménez recently spoke to the press, and he didn't dodge the heat at all, not even a little bit. He said, "I don't think it's unfair, I deserve the criticism." He added that he's a striker, fans want goals, and a club like Milan should always be at the top. He clearly knows that right now, right here, wearing that L3 jersey on Guillermo Ochoa and Edson Alvarez, and some really hungry young talent, they've got their sights set incredibly high. They're chasing history, wanting to surpass their legendary 1970 and 1986 World Cup runs, where they reached the quarterfinals at home. Make no mistake, they are focused, they are highly structured, and they are in red-hot form. Let's flip over to Section 3, South Africa's joyful chaos. Okay, so if Mexico's camp is this intensely structured pressure cooker, Bafana Bafana's camp is basically a masterclass in surviving administrative disaster with a giant smile on your face. Look at this staggering travel timeline. Coach Hugo Bruce desperately wanted his squad in Mexico by June 1st to acclimatize. They were supposed to hop on a charter flight on Sunday. Instead, the entire team was grounded in Johannesburg thanks to a massive, complicated U.S. transit visa mess involving the embassy. So they lose a completely crucial day of prep. They finally get out on Monday, taking this wild, circuitous route with a refueling layover in Cape Verde, and don't arrive at their base camp in Pachuca until Tuesday. And get this, some of the staff, including the assistant coach, were still waiting for visas and had to fly out even later. Naturally, the political fallout back home has been intense. As you can see from this quote, South African Sports Minister Gayton McKenzie was absolutely furious with the South African Football Association. He publicly called the whole debacle embarrassing and grossly unfair towards the players, saying the country was being made to look like fools. It's exactly the kind of messy off-field distraction that can completely derail a team's focus right before the biggest tournament of their lives. But this is what is truly amazing about this squad. Despite all the it's just a remarkably resilient vibe. They took a stressful, frankly nightmare logistical situation and turned it into a massive party. Moving into Section 4, the billion-dollar tournament. To really understand the sheer scale and stakes of this opening match, we kind of have to zoom out for a second and look at the broader environment here. The 2026 World Cup represents a truly massive financial shift in global football. Just look at these numbers. The top European heavyweights in this tournament are valued at well over $1 billion. Francis Watt is sitting at a staggering $1.78 billion, obviously driven by superstars like Kylian Mbappe. You got England at $1.52 billion and Spain right behind at $1.47 billion. That is the financial stratosphere we're dealing with. Now, neither Mexico nor South Africa are in this exclusive billionaires club, but this is the immense, high-stakes, globally scrutinized stage they are officially opening. Literally all the eyes of this billion-dollar industry are going to be locked right on them. And bringing things back down to earth, or, well, actually, way high up into the sky, there is a brutal physical reality to this specific matchup. South Africa's base camp in Pachuca is sitting at 2,432 meters above sea level. Guys, that is extreme altitude. It is almost 700 meters higher than Johannesburg. And this is exactly why those visa delays we talked about were so costly. South Africa lost a vital 24 hours of literally just breathing and getting their bodies used to that incredibly thin air before they have to run out onto that pitch. Finally, Section 5. Who takes the opener? So when you put it all together, the history, the wild off-field drama, the intense physical challenges, it ultimately boils down to this core juxtaposition. On one side, you have Mexico. They've got the structure, they have an 8-game unbeaten streak, a massive 5-1 win in their back pocket, but they are carrying the absolute crushing weight and pressure of an expectant home nation, perfectly symbolized by a star striker who is desperate to find the back of the net. And on the flip side, you have South Africa. They are battling administrative chaos, major jet lag, and lost preparation time. They are armed with this unbreakable team spirit, joyous viral dances, and fans who just refuse to stop singing. So which mentality actually wins out when the referee blows that first whistle? Does the intense, focused pressure of being the host nation propel Mexico to a commanding victory? Or does the joyful, dancing resilience of South Africa spark another historic opening day upset? Who will claim the Azteca? It is an absolutely fascinating clash of cultures and mentalities, and honestly, I cannot wait to find out. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and enjoy the match.